Boxing has always been the theater of the unexpected, a sport where the invincible can crumble, where the last-minute replacement can shake the world, and where the fighters who were supposed to lose become legends overnight. Today we're breaking down the 10 most unexpected upsets in boxing history, moments where the crowd went silent, the commentators lost their voices, and the history books had to be rewritten on the fly. For a decade, the heavyweight division was a kingdom of cold, robotic efficiency. Wladimir Klitschko wasn't just the champion, he was the steel hammer. He didn't just beat you, he erased your hope with a 12-round jab. Then came Tyson Fury, a 6'9" enigma who sang Aerosmith in the ring and moved like a lightweight. Nobody thought the Gypsy King could outthink the professor. But in a masterclass of psychological warfare and feints, Fury turned a championship fight into a dance-off, and the world watched a dynasty crumble without a single drop of blood. In 2014, Ruslan Provodnikov was the most feared man in boxing, the Siberian Rocky who turned every fight into a dark, violent alleyway brawl. He was the WBO champion, a destroyer who had just come off a Fight of the Year performance. His opponent, Chris Algieri, was a complete unknown outside of New York. He wasn't even a pure boxer. He was a former kickboxer who many experts believed had been handpicked because he lacked the power to keep Provodnikov off him. In round one, the script seemed set. Algieri was dropped twice and his right eye was swollen shut. But through a haze of pain and near blindness, Algieri boxed a perfect masterpiece for the next 11 rounds, proving that technical brilliance can survive even the darkest alleyway brawl. Lehlo Ledwaba was the elite, polished king of the super bantamweights. Manny Pacquiao, he was a scrawny, last-minute replacement from the Philippines, with a bowl cut and zero American hype. Taking the fight on just 2 weeks' notice, he was supposed to be a stay-busy win for the champion, but from the opening bell, the script was shredded. Pacquiao didn't just box, he detonated. With a southpaw left hand that moved like a lightning strike, he dismantled the champion's face in front of a stunned Las Vegas crowd. By the time Ledwaba hit the floor for the final time, the boxing world realized they hadn't just seen an upset, they had witnessed the birth of a global icon. Wladimir Klitschko was the golden boy heir to the heavyweight throne. His opponent, Corrie, was a 37-year-old part-time golfer from South Africa who was treated like a human punching bag for the champion's highlight reel. The script called for a routine knockout. Instead, the disaster was instantaneous. In the very first round, Sanders unleashed a left hand that looked like it was fired from a cannon. Klitschko was dropped 4 times in less than 6 minutes, his invincibility shattered in a violent blitz. The script flipped so fast the commentators couldn't keep up. It was a 20-1 shocker that forced Klitschko to reinvent himself or face extinction. Muhammad Ali was the greatest, a living legend who had survived the heaviest hitters in history. Leon Spinks was a kid with a gap-toothed grin, a novice who shouldn't have been in the same zip code as the king. The world expected a victory lap for Ali, but the disaster for the legend was Spinks' relentless engine. The kid didn't respect the throne, he attacked it. For 15 grueling rounds, Spinks outworked, out-hustled, and outfought the most famous man on earth. When the decision was read, the sporting world stood still. A man with just 7 pro fights had just stolen the crown from the greatest of all time. Anthony Joshua was the god of bodybuilding, a British titan making his massive U.S. debut. Andy Ruiz Jr. was the last-minute replacement whose dad-bod physique made him the target of every joke in the industry. The script was a massacre, and it looked right on track when Joshua dropped Ruiz in the third. But then, the script flipped in the most violent way possible. Ruiz didn't just get up, he fought back like a man possessed, dropping the champion 4 times. By the time the ref waved it off, the jokes had stopped. The little fat man had just become the first Mexican heavyweight champion in history. Lennox Lewis was the pound-for-pound king, a chess master so dominant he spent his training camp filming movie cameos in Hollywood. Hasim Rahman was a heavy-handed underdog from Baltimore who was supposed to be an easy paycheck. The script was a formality, but the altitude of South Africa and Lewis's overconfidence created a perfect storm of disaster. In the 5th round, Rahman landed a single, thunderous overhand right that turned the champion's lights out before he hit the canvas. The world watched in disbelief as the king was dethroned by a man he didn't even bother to take seriously. Donald Corrie was the Lone Star Cobra, an undefeated technician many called the next Sugar Ray Leonard. He was the undisputed king, and Lloyd Honeyghan was just a ragtag mandatory challenger from Britain. The Vegas experts gave Honeyghan zero chance of surviving the night, but Honeyghan didn't care about the odds. He bet $5,000 on himself. From the first bell, he conducted a hostile takeover, bullying and battering the pound-for-pound king into a bloody mess. When Corrie quit on his stool after 6 rounds, the boxing world wasn't just shocked, they were terrified. A dynasty had been dismantled by sheer, raw aggression. In 1974, George Foreman was a force of nature. He didn't just beat Hall of Famers, he destroyed them in minutes. People truly feared Ali would be killed in the ring. The script was a tragedy in the making. But in the rumble in the jungle, Ali unveiled the ultimate plot twist, the rope-a-dope. He leaned back, let the monster exhaust himself on his ribs, and whispered, "Is that all you got, George?" When the giant finally stumbled in the 8th round, Ali struck with a lightning-fast combination that sent Foreman spiraling to the floor. It wasn't just an upset, it was a masterclass in psychological warfare that redefined the sport. Tokyo, 1990. Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet, an unbeaten destroyer who looked like a glitch in the Matrix. Buster Douglas was a 42-1 underdog, grieving the recent death of his mother. A man the world expected to go down in the 1st round. The disaster for Tyson was Douglas's heart. He stood his ground, jabbed the monster's eyes shut, and survived a knockdown of his own. In the 10th round, the script didn't just flip, it exploded. Douglas landed an uppercut that floored the Iron Man. Seeing Tyson crawl for his mouthpiece remains the most shocking image in sports history. The invincibility was gone, and the greatest upset of all time was complete. And those are the 10 most unexpected upsets in boxing history. Moments where odds, hype, and the myth of invincibility shattered the second the bell rang. Boxing is the only sport where one punch can turn a nobody into a legend and a king into a memory. Drop a comment below and let us know which moment left you the most stunned. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe to join the corner. Every bit of engagement helps us keep the history of the sweet science alive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next bell.